Get a minute of your time. Get a minute of your. Hush up, gotta live right, and I'm never gonna let you out of my side. I've been knocked out, was a nice try, but I guess I get to keep my head on this time. Part of the creation, the relations I've got, the only one that keeps me safe, the only one you should trust. For sure, it ain't right that I have checked the speck of dust from all of its sides. Fall down, not from my height, cause I didn't see the plank I have in my eye. What you hear in yourself when no one's to be found? What keeps you eased out? What takes you off your mind?
Yes, you want this, I want this. Everybody in this, we should have it. Stop illusions, it's in your hands. Show yourself, reveal it to them. Check the time too.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, what is up?
You guys, I hope you saw this man was just yelling at me. He has the music so loud. I forgot my headset, and this guy has the music so loud that he can't hear that he's shouting at me.
I wasn't shouting. Okay, yeah.
100% you were shouting.
I know I was being loud, but not because I'm like.
You were shouting at me. How dare you?
I wasn't shouting. What did I tell you? Right when I posted today that she was gonna be making fun of me.
I'm just kidding.
Check these out. I
Are
found
those old school
business cards.
Oh my gosh, that's so. Let me see.
Yeah. So this one is. I'll tell you this one. This one's nope, not this one. This one was the first MTC Life one.
Oh, this is an old school one, guys. This is what, like 15 years ago, 10 years ago?
Yeah, something like that. Well, I'm gonna show you the upgrade to that one.
You haven't updated your pictures, eh?
I know.
You need to update your pictures. This is not you anymore.
Oh, that's totally me.
This is not you.
Except
You did not have hair. Just kidding.
Barba? That's not. There's no hair there. What are you talking about?
So how long have you not had hair? Can we just let's go into a history of your hair.
Wow.
No, but legit, I feel like as long as I've known you, I don't think I've ever met you with hair.
Yeah, we've known each other for how long?
Okay, so I knew of you back in the day, like before you and Tegan were married. Like I saw you because we used to go to the same, like Cedar Brae. My parents went to Cedar Brae.
Get out
and
of
I
here.
remember going to a picnic and you and Tegan were there, and that was before you guys were married. But like it must have been like a couple months before you guys were married.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it was like that long ago. But then we didn't actually end up talking until I moved to Brampton. And then I don't know when. I don't even know how we started talking. How did we even start talking?
The VS group.
We talked before that though.
No.
We never talked before that?
No. We really got, like, our families really came close when we needed, like, there were couples that were leaving. We needed another couples for our VS group. And so then the Palmer said, oh, you know what? A good couple that would be the Bunts. Like, oh, yeah, I think we've seen them, whatever, around and stuff.
I feel like we've talked prior to that, though.
No.
Not like full-out friendship talk, but like acquaintance talk.
Oh, yeah, like, well, in church, everybody says hi to each other. But we never, like, just, like, hey, how are you, chillaxed.
So it was, what, 5 years, would you say, pre-COVID? COVID's been like 2.5, and then maybe like 2 years before?
COVID's been 2, right, from March to March.
Yeah.
And then...
It's been a while.
Yeah. So, 5, I would say 5-6 years.
Yeah, it's been a while. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
No, we have 5 years. Anyway.
Yeah.
We're like here, we're down reminiscing.
Hey, Jimmy, how are you doing? This is nice to have you guys back.
Oh,
yes.
it's so good to see you. Thank you for logging on.
So, we're talking about me and hair. And so when I was okay, so obviously on my mission I had hair.
You did have hair in your mission. Okay.
Yeah, and before my mission I had hair up to my shoulder.
Wow.
I was beautiful back then.
What happened? Just kidding.
So rude. Oh my gosh, so rude. Anyways, so I had hair, and then I had shoulders. For my mission I had to cut it, and then after that I was working at the Royal York Hotel, and I lost a promotion, I lost a pay increase because my hair was messy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I was really upset. What ended up happening, so at the Royal York Hotel, I was the head of AV. I would go and I set up lights, set up projections. Sometimes artists would come to Toronto, and we would help them set up the staging, all the lighting, all the techie stuff. And then, I went in and they're like, and sometimes you have to go underneath the table and fix the cables, right? And you come out and your hair's a mess. And these are high paying clients. And so you always have to be looking presentable. Anyways, I lost a 50-cent increase because they're like, yeah, you're very rarely presentable. We can't really promote you. You don't represent the brand. And so I was like, I'm like, are you serious? And they're like, yeah. So I came home. I was so angry. I was so ticked off.
You shaved. Is that when you shaved?
That's when I shaved.
Oh my gosh.
I just took a blade. The razor, the machine. I put a fork clip on it, and I just went down the center first. I went zzz.
So I have a question for you.
Oh my gosh!
Just like I hope this doesn't come across.
Of course, it's gonna come out. Okay.
Okay.
So this is live and this is being recorded,
yes,
right?
But I always assumed that it was because you lost hair that you started like shaving. Was that the reason? Like, do you actually have hair?
So that's the now reason.
Oh, okay. So you did experience hair loss, I guess.
Yeah, I have my dad's genes.
Okay.
Yeah, and he has like hair in the center, and then he's got like the hair up to the side.
Let me see.
No, tu madre.
Should I see?
It's not that kind of podcast, dude. What is happening right now? Can I exfoliate your scalp?
No, I just want to see. I don't want to touch it. I just want to see.
No, why you want to see my scalp?
But with the glasses.
Stop looking.
Why are you putting your?
Why are you looking at my head? Stop looking at my head. Don't. So rude. So stinking rude. So
I just want to see. If you let me see, I won't look at it again.
No, yeah, you keep. My eyes are right here, Maria. My eyes are right here.
Okay.
So
that'll be another time, I guess, when you're not looking.
So it's funny because when Tegan went into hairdressing school, she wanted to practice haircuts for men. Yeah. So she's like, "Can you let your hair grow?" And I'm like, "I'm not letting my hair grow."
Oh, hold on. So by the time you guys got married, you already had like a shaved head.
Right. Yeah. So it was 2003 or 4 when I just shaved my head.
Okay.
A 4-blade.
Okay.
And then I kept getting braver and it kept getting to a 2, then a 1, and I started baking it. So by the time that I met Tegan, I was ready like cutting it, blading it.
Okay. So it's been that long.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, you were empowered. You did it before you lost anything. So it's like...
Right. I didn't do it because of hair loss.
Yeah.
But hang on. Here's the story. And so when then while we're married, she's going to hairdressing school. She's like, let your hair grow so I can practice my fades and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Because they get a mannequin doll.
Yeah.
But once you cut it once, like that's it.
Yeah.
Right? So it's mostly done for dudes and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you don't want me to grow up my hair. And she goes, no, I want you to. I'm like, no, you don't. So I started letting it grow. And not everything was coming back. And so she looks at me. She goes, I think you need to shave your head. And I'm like, yeah, I think so too. So it lasted for like about 4 months.
Oh my god.
And then she instantly regretted it.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That's a little hair history for you guys right there of the origins of this.
I always tell people it's a zoom filter.
It's a zoom.
So that's my first one. Check this one out.
Recycling. Oh shoot, that was from like prior to this when you were doing recycling gig.
So before MTC Life, I actually started a legacy, a recycling company, where I would go into offices and for $5, I would collect the recycling, and then like sometimes like office buildings, they don't have dumpsters in the back or they don't have places where they just garbage trash, right? And so I'm like, I want to do something for the world, and so I started a recycling company, where I would just go around picking up.
And so what did you do? Like you took it to the recycling place, I guess, with the stuff that you picked
up?
Then
I would just take it to the recycling dump. And it's free, right? Recycling is free to go bring it in. You don't pay for it.
Yeah.
And so I had about, and it was a weekly service, $5 a week to pick up your recycling stuff.
Once a week?
Once a week.
Okay.
So then I had about 12 clients.
Okay.
All in an area that I would just go like place to place picking up the recycling. So what? That's 10 times 5, 50, so $60
a month,
a week.
Oh, a week. Okay.
Yeah, times 220 times 4, 240.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was your beginnings of your entrepreneur life.
Yeah, I like that. And then I was going. I and I liked it. I knew I always wanted to work for myself, and
Yeah.
then I want and anyways. So that was it. So check this one out. So this is the upgrade.
Okay, to this,
to
right?
that one, yeah. So
Mention-
so here's legacy, guys. So I don't know if you can see this.
You can kind of. Well, I'm not wearing my glasses, so I'm not sure.
So that was legacy recycling. But then that's the this is the thing.
Oh shit! You have Zumba here when you were. Oh no, you had Zumba there too when you were a
Yeah.
Zumba instructor.
Yeah, I was a Zumba instructor.
Yeah. There you go to the new beginnings.
And this is that was my social push to get social stuff.
That's awesome. Is this
Right?
your last one?
This was so I wanted to increase my social media presence, and so I just put all my social feeds there, and so no contact. That's when no office information, no phone number, nothing. So this
Okay.
one I would give to the kids more than anything.
Yeah.
I don't want kids having my cell number, right?
Yeah, of course. Of course, that makes sense.
What was your first business?
My first business. I'm trying to think about. Okay, so my first entrepreneurial attempt. Are you ready?
I think you're a bully.
No.
I
but
think you have.
I was not a bully at all.
I-
Eh? Remember, I was like uber shy when I was younger.
I don't know what uber shy means, but I think you were a bully.
No,
100%.
I was never a bully. I was the one getting bullied. I got bullied in school. I never was a bully in school.
So is that why you're taking all your anger and frustration? on me?
100%. 100% why I'm like, where's my chancla? I'm just kidding. No, okay, so the first attempt to ever being entrepreneurial is at the age of 8, I sold my Barbie doll to my neighbor for $5 or 5 sucres at the time, whereas I lived in Ecuador, right? My mom was so upset. I never liked Barbie dolls to begin with, right? But I thought I could make a little money. So I went and I sold my Barbie dolls to a neighbor down the street, and my mom found out, and she was so upset. She made me go back and get my money back. No, give the money back and then get my Barbies back.
Really?
So that was my first attempt about being entrepreneurial.
How old were you?
Probably 8. Like
That's
I was
not bad.
young.
That's
I was
not bad.
young. I had to be 8. Like I was really young. Like I never liked dolls anyway, right? But I feel like that was my first attempt. Then I always worked. So at the age of 12, I was like delivering or dropping off flyers and that kind of stuff. And then at 16, I got a job. And I feel like my next push to be entrepreneurial was in my 20s, where I actually started doing Sensi. And that was like I crashed and burned.
You did Sensi?
Well, when I say mostly Mike did Sensi.
Tegan did Sensi too, eh?
Yeah, Sensi was like,
Yeah.
it was like, I don't know, at that time I guess it was big, and I really do enjoy the products.
Yeah.
But that was my first time at like an MLM company, and just kind of, and it was so awkward. Like it was not a good experience for me because of the reason that I was so like in my head with it, right?
Yeah,
but Mike killed it. He was like selling those candles left,
Well,
right, and center.
Guys do well in that business.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
did.
it's because Tegan did it.
Yeah.
And then she was killing it too. Like
Yeah.
she was like, and Tegan has the personality. She loves to talk. She already has a clientele with hair, so people were coming in. They were seeing the products, like, oh my gosh. So she was selling like crazy, right?
Yeah.
Like we would get boxes. Can you turn off the fan? I can hear the fan.
of course.
Sorry, Maria is very like,
Cold.
yeah.
I get cold really easily.
Yeah.
And this guy has like -10 in here.
To match your heart. She's so cold. But no, because we have the AC is
Yeah.
literally right out there. And so this is the first room to receive the AC. So I have to have the heater on in the middle of summer.
Okay, because it is cold. It's legit
Yeah,
cold.
no, it's legit
Yeah.
cold. Like it's too cold for me, and I never complain. So yeah, so we would have like boxes, like monthly
product,
of
yeah.
products, whatever, and nothing was coming out of her pocket, right?
Yeah.
because these were all just clients or whatever. And so she would win all these trips.
Yeah, I remember seeing that you guys
Yeah.
went on like
we went to
different-
Barbados. We went to a cruise. We did something else. But yeah, she was winning all these crazy trips.
That's
But
awesome.
one of the speaker says that if you're a guy and you get into this business, you will kill it. Because there's
Yeah.
not a lot of guys that do it. I don't know what the psychology behind it is, but
I think it's because usually, it might be the way that it's marketed too. It's like a side hustle. You're able to be a stay-at-home mom while you do it, or at least that was the reason why I started, like why I kind of dabbled in it.
yeah.
But yeah, the company itself, I love the company, but the company wasn't for me. Like I just
Yeah.
couldn't do it.
Yeah, yeah. So I got
Yeah.
a question for you.
What?
What's your biggest fear? Let's get to know the real Maria.
Oh my gosh. I don't know. I think, you know what? I think my biggest fear is disappointing people. I think that's my fear.
But you disappoint me all the time.
But that's you. 100%. I'm like,
but I'm a people.
you're not. Are you really a people? Just kidding.
I'm not.
No, honestly, because when I think about it, and I'm like, it's disappointing. It's the fact that sometimes I struggle with the things that I say that I'm going to do, mostly within my goals, right? Because, you know, in your goals and you're thinking, you're setting them and you think, even if you say that you think that your goals are not going to pan out that way, you want to be from here to here in no time, right? You're like, yes, I'm going to have patience. Yes, I'm going to do this. Yes, I know it's going to take time. Yes, I know it's going to, like, I'm going to fail forward.
Yeah.
But legit, I get fearful and I get disappointed. And then my whole thing is like, my whole thing is about disappointing others and having others being like, well, okay, when I say others, I mean God. I feel like he has this path for me, and then I feel like I know that he knows that I can do it, and it's just my belief in myself falters, and then I'm afraid that I'll disappoint him and he'll be like, what happened, Maria? Like, I gave you all these resources. He's not like that, but that's the way that I think.
Really, eh?
Yeah, that is my biggest fear, actually.
Oh, wow.
If I really get into it, when I mean people, I mean God. And like, because I'm like, with people, I disappoint. Like, I just had somebody disappointed in me on Sunday. I made a mistake. I didn't do something that I said that I was going to do, but it was a true mistake. I just completely like did not remember to bring what I said I was going to bring. And she wouldn't even look at me.
Get out of here.
Yeah. She and she was upset and she was asking for it back. I didn't have it. It was at the house, right? And I can still get it done, but it's just going to take like an extra 4 weeks to get it done. And she like wouldn't even look at me.
Stop.
Yeah. And I felt it kind of, it affected my Sunday experience because it happened at church.
Yeah.
But yeah, it affected my Sunday experience a little bit. I let it kind of replay, and I've been replaying it a little bit in my head.
Oh, I hate when that happens.
I know,
I
but
hate when that happens.
Exactly. So then I'm like, well, I can't do anything about it. I took onus because literally it was my bad. Like, I did make the mistake. But I didn't do it purposefully, but nonetheless, it was still upsetting to her. Right. But yeah. So
okay, so you dropped the ball.
Yeah.
And you said sorry. You admitted to it.
Yeah, of course, because I was like, I can't. Like, I wanted to lie. I wanted to blame it on somebody else. 100%. The first thought that came into my mind was like, blame it on somebody else, right?
Miguel. There's enough people that hate Miguel. Let me just blame it on Miguel.
I really didn't want it. But I'm like, I always tell myself, it's not what you think the first time. Yeah. Is what you do with the second thought that matters, right? My first thought, I'm like, it doesn't matter. But my second thought is the one that matters. Okay. So even though I wanted to lie, first initial thought, wanted to lie, wanted to blame somebody else and be like, really? I didn't, like, I had no idea. Like, I did it kind of thing, right? But no, I couldn't do that. So I was like, I'm so sorry. I just, like, I missed it. Like, it was one of the envelopes that got left behind. And she was just, like, upset. And I'd never had anybody be so upset with me that they couldn't look at me at church. So
hang on. So here's the timeline. Jason Palmer says, what does he says?
Maria Michelle is about to go grocery shopping and wants you to know your favorite
Instapot recipe is.
What my favorite Instant Pot? Are you buying me groceries?
What has happened? Like, we're in the middle of a podcast and this joker is asking you for grocery tips. Like, what is Jason, man? What the freak?
He's like, call back Michelle. Just stop the whole let's stop the podcast. I need to.
What a Sasquatch. This guy. So Jason Palmer, listen, I love this guy, but a lot of the times I'm not impressed with him. So
oh my gosh.
He's so random. Like what he did to me on Friday, I'm telling you right now. I
totally rattled you, eh?
Totally threw my equilibrium off, like in the middle of a presentation.
Yeah.
Good thing he doesn't.
He's a heckler for sure.
He is. 100% he's a heckler. This guy, man. So she'll message you later with some grocery recipes, man. Like, let's stop the podcast right now.
Sorry, guys, gotta go.
Yeah. Michelle needs her recipes. This guy. Oh my gosh. So what was he saying? Okay, so the timeline here. After you said sorry.
Yeah.
Did she, like, Was that in the beginning of the of church, like before the 2 hours?
No, it was really awkward too because it was the first hour, so right after church. Not right
Sacrament.
right after sacrament. So first hour of church, and it was really awkward for me too because I had been asked to to go up and speak with regards to the youth and like all the things that we've been doing and kind of just share my thoughts, and I was really nervous, and I was really emotional as well because I mean our youth are awesome, you know that, right? And they've been doing some hard things, so I was all emotional. I had shared my thoughts. I had like cried a little bit, right?
Of course.
100%.
Yeah,
if you guys know me, I'm like,
yeah. Just carry Kleenex in your pocket because
like snot, like ugly.
You'll say hi, Michelle. Oh my gosh,
Michelle.
not Michelle. See, I'm telling you, Jason, he's messing me up. I meant Maria. Anyways.
But yeah, so it was right after that. So I felt really awkward because that had happened. And then, and even after the moment, I had to apologize. I took 100% onus and I was like, you know what, it was my bad. But even then, I feel like she was still upset because she just after I did it, she just kind of did like a side glance.
Yeah.
And, but she just said okay and kind of walked away, right? So it threw me. It was a curveball.
Did you see her towards the end of church?
Kind of, I guess. Like we were in class, so she was sitting way at the front, and then after I didn't really see her, and she's older too, right? So it's but you know, like we're people, those kind of things happen. But it was really hard for me to shake it off, and it was really hard for me not to kind of replay it in my mind. But then today, when I was reading, I was doing some scripture reading and some like personal development, and it talked about cultivating a spirit of gratitude. And the word that I ended up focusing on was cultivating. When you cultivate something, there's intention and there's practice behind it, right? And the thought came to me that I was like, if it was easy, everybody would do it, right?
Right. Less brown.
Yeah. So I was like, you know what? I'm like, if I want to get better, I need to have opportunities like this where I can just kind of work through these feelings. And
I can't even sleep.
I know.
Like if somebody, like if something happens. So I did an interview this Sunday with someone, and I flat out told him, I'm like, I have self-esteem issues.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so do you mean that like with self-esteem, like you value yourself depending on what others think of you? Would you say that, or do you think like lower of yourself, or is it like, what do you mean by self-esteem issues?
So what are my two options?
Okay, so is the self-esteem that your mood fluctuates based on what other people think of you? Or is it just based overall, like you just feel like not good enough sometimes and you just kind of work through that? Or I don't know, or what is your definition? Like, what do you mean?
So I'm constantly questioning my abilities to please. Like as a leader, so it's funny because with the youth, like even with the work that I do when I go to schools and stuff like that, I'm pretty confident. Like I go in, I'm excited. I'm nervous anytime I'm about to do a presentation. But when it's like new stuff, like when it's uncharted waters, especially with my calling, I'm always so like, I feel inadequate, like very inadequate. So that's why I relate. I know this is not the Come Follow Me podcast, but that's why I relate so much to Moses, because Moses was like, what do I can't do this, right? I'm just a shepherd. I'm just like I'm nobody, right? And so when it comes to like this calling or even a decision, I'm always second guessing myself and always questioning what I'm doing. I feel very.
So what do you do to work through that?
I can't. Well, I can't say I can't. I have to power through, because I know even though that's how I feel now, I know it's gonna get better. I just don't know when and how and where and why. But I know that the feelings like that is not gonna last, and that's what gets me through.
I think I'm with you too. I'm like, I think with what happened with the conflict, a little bit of a conflict that I had yesterday. Excuse me. It's the same thing. It's like, it's gonna get better. You know that like you're not gonna feel like that all the time. Yeah. But it's just the awkwardness and just the replaying that kind of plays into your head. Yeah.
And so that's why. So when somebody does or says something that's disappointed, I can't sleep. I'm just tossing and turning. have to pop like how many melatonins? It's just.
But you know what? Like, you're bound to disappoint someone, right? And that's what I always tell myself. Like, you cannot make everybody happy. You're bound to disappoint. You're bound to offend sometimes. You're bound to hurt somebody unintentionally. I'm not saying that you do it intentionally, but.
But see, here's the thing: is I know that. I know all of that. When I do counseling for families or my coaching stuff for kids and stuff like that, I know the wording, I know the script, I know what to say. But when it comes to personal application, it's completely
That's where you struggle,
different.
right?
That's different. Listen, from the pulpit, I can preach a good game. I can tell people, if you're feeling like this is what you should do, and all these different things. And then, but when it comes to personal application, there is a struggle, and so that's why I love our personal progress book.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of you, right? But there's a lot of me. There's a lot of us in it that what we've done to overcome certain things, right? And
yeah. And I enjoy sharing this kind of stuff because you know what? If you're struggling, we struggle, right? Like, I feel like I get in my head. I doubt myself. I feel bad for doubting myself because I'm like, oh my gosh, I have all these reasons why this is going to work. But yet there's constant struggle inside. Yeah. So I think that there's power in admitting that vulnerability because so much with success, sometimes people just share the highlights and they never share the struggles behind. So 100%. I'm like, it's important to share this kind of stuff. So thanks for sharing, Miguel.
You're welcome, Maria.
Well, that was...
Well, stop being such a bully. So here's...
I'm not a bully. I'm kind. No. I am loving. Okay,
Listen, okay. Give credit to where it's grew. You're a great wife to Mike. Mike, I know he loves you. I know he's like, I mean, whatever. You got how many kids? 2, 3, 4?
4.
4 kids.
I'm his trophy wife. That's what I tell him anyway. 100%. I gotta think highly of myself.
You do not say that to Mike.
Oh my gosh! Go text him. Call him. No, he's at work.
So I don't care. I'm texting this kid. You legit.
I legit tell him I'm his trophy wife.
No, you don't.
I do. I 100% do.
Mike. Oh my gosh, Mike.
Well, I'm like, you got.
Where is he? Is he from home or is he at work?
No, he's at work. He's in the office today. He's just really gonna text him. What, you don't believe me? No. Are you calling me a liar?
What's his phone number? I have his phone number here. What's his phone number?
Hold on, I'm not gonna give out his phone number.
It's just gonna take time. I know his number already.
Just text him after.
No, I need to know. I want to know what he says. This is real live information, right? That we have to come across.
Listen, trust me when I tell you.
Maria. Let's see here. Maria. Oh no!
He did it. I think he did a group chat with the 3 of us, and you were like, "Who is this?"
Here we go. Hey, Mike. Does Maria call herself a quote unquote trophy?
I'm like, I 100% do. I am his trophy wife. Listen.
And do you agree?
Oh my god. You better say you agree.
Let's see what happens. Oh, I am so nervous. I think I just created the cause of a breakup.
Oh, please.
Can you imagine it? Because I was like, nah.
100%.
Let's see.
I mean, he's not going to text you. He might be in a meeting or something.
So?
You're not going to like be waiting by the thing while we do our podcast.
No, yes. If we can wait for grocery list. If we can wait for a groceries list.
We're not.
So,
but this is a good segue, though, Because we've been talking about goals, we've been talking about our struggles.
No, we're not getting away from what we're about to talk.
Totally just leave your phone there. You'll see it. When he texts you back, you'll see it. He might not be able to get it right away.
Hey, Mike, does Maria call herself a trophy wife? And do you agree? Should I call him?
100%.
I should
You're
call him.
not gonna call him.
Why not? We can put him actually on the podcast.
Okay, go call him. Let's see.
For reals?
For reals. I don't know if he'll pick up though.
Oh my gosh! Hang on one second.
I legit calling him.
I want to see what he says. Just so you guys know, here I am trying to share with you the knowledge of things that have worked for us. But I'm doing the exact same thing, kinda.
Oh my gosh! We should just, you know what we should do one day? We should do a podcast and do pranks to our friends. A friend. We'll do it live. Do you want to call us? Call your friends?
Jason's on my list. 100%.
It's called pretending me a collector. Like, what should we pretend?
Can you take a call? Let me see here. So legit, not Jason. Mike is working right now. like probably in an office meetings making $1,000, $1 million decisions, and here we are.
That's why I'm his trophy wife. He makes the big bucks.
I'm calling. I'm calling.
Okay, do it. Just put it on speaker.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Are you put it on speaker?
No, I want to see if he can pick up first. This is too funny.
I don't even listen. Where are?
No, it's not ringing.
Oh, he might not have reception in there. Some of the hangers.
Please leave your message after the tone.
You're leaving him a message.
Mike, listen, buddy. There's an emergency here.
No, there's no emergency.
Life and death.
Don't scare him.
Life and death. We're in the middle of a podcast, and I just sent you a text message. It is like your wife has been kidnapped, and we need an answer to
be released.
That's just a recording of her laugh. So, but we need you to confirm or deny what we just sent. All right, man. Love you, dude. Talk to you later. Bye.
Oh my gosh, you're so crazy.
I am.
All right, let's do this though. Let's get into the meat and potatoes of our podcast.
But hang on one second. Hang on. There's more.
Okay,
So
what is more?
How important is your why?
Oh, so important. If I didn't have a why, heck to the no, I would never be here. I would never be like doing a podcast or putting myself out there. I would have never done half of the things that I do now.
Yeah.
It is my why that drives me to do the uncomfortable. It is my why that drives me to do the things that I don't want to do. And for that reason, that's what keeps me going.
Do you have your whys posted everywhere?
I should. I don't. I actually don't. I think if I had it posted everywhere, that probably helped me more than just kind of being like struggling through and being like, oh yeah, I remember my why. Yeah.
It's part of one of our faces. You got to post your whys all over the place.
I know I have to. I have to get like. I actually have to work through the workbook myself again as well, because with any kind of progress that you do it, but it's not something that is like a one and done. You have to continually do it because you have to realign yourself. So I have to redo it. Yeah.
The reason why we asked Maria about the why is because it's our phase 4. The why is this is actually probably one of my, out of all the phases, there's like what, 7, 8 phases?
8.
Right?
Yeah. 9 maybe.
Yes.
It's a living document.
It's not like we created it or anything like that.
No, we're nurturing. It's our baby, and our baby sometimes needs to grow.
I keep seeing Jason's comment, and I can't shake it off. Why? I can't. Listen, I know that we're past already his comment, but I just can't get rid of the fact that he's asking for a grocery list in the middle of a podcast. Oh, Jason, we should have him on the podcast.
100%, we should.
But he's going to throw us off.
Yep. So that's going to be a fun podcast. We're not teaching anything. We're just
we're not.
How can we teach with Jason Palmer? Just kidding.
Yeah, we totally. That's a podcast that we're not going to be legit teaching
or sharing
any good nuggets. Or Siri just got activated. Sorry, Siri.
It's straight up entertainment.
Yeah. But what was I saying? Yeah, and so it's here goes.
Michelle was watching the podcast with me in the office. Oh.
And so that's why she asked?
And so you want me to send the grocery list?
After the podcast, she'll send the list. Tell her to relax. Oh, that was fun on Friday, dude. Was it Friday? Saturday.
Friday.
When you guys came over? The luau?
Oh, we had a little luau. But listen, you're losing track. Let's get into our why.
No, it's part of the why.
Okay, so tell me.
The luau represents the world.
Okay. Where's this? Are you just pulling it out of your butt?
No. Hang on one second. I can do this. Pay attention.
Okay, tell me.
When we gather together to enjoy meals, we are feasting on each other's presence, our aura, and the fire. The fire is the why.
When we were at the fire. Okay.
It lights our darkest times.
I don't know if that worked.
It does work. It totally works. Think about it. Your why?
Well, it is a fire. It provides warmth. It
Right.
gives you like a place of gathering. It helps you to like kind of
Guide
just
you.
focus.
Guide
Keeps you calm.
Keeps you calm. keeps you relaxed.
Yeah, it's okay.
So your why does all of that stuff. It keeps you focused. It keeps you centered. It brings you out of darkness. It lights your darkest times.
Yeah.
So the fire was key to the luau, because then if it wasn't for the fire, it would just be hanging out. But the fire created
The luau.
the luau.
Okay, so this is pretty cool. Miguel and I have been working on the why. Like we talked about this months ago, right? When we
Yeah.
were kind of discussing our goals and what we wanted to do, and I asked you about your why, right?
Yeah.
Do you remember that when we did that whole exercise?
Yeah, and this is why I say it's one of my favorite ones, because it hit hard. When you did it to me, I started crying.
Yeah. So just to give you a little backstory, Miguel and I kind of have been talking about working together, partnership,
Yeah.
and all that since
Yeah.
December, and it got to a point where we finally took the plunge. Like I feel like finally both you and I were.
It was actually longer.
It's been longer.
It was when you guys first started coming over.
Did we talk about it then?
we
Like
talked
about doing a podcast.
We
but
talked
did
about
we
doing something together.
Yes.
And I don't know if you remember this. We had a Wee Wigglers event.
Yeah.
And you came with your kids at the office.
Yeah, my kids were tiny. They were like
That's
4,
right.
2, and a newborn or something
That's
like that.
right.
I only had 3.
And then you were looking at getting licensed. You were looking at, getting together. And then I told you should come and check out one of my workshops. And then maybe we can collaborate.
No, I don't think that's how it happened, because when I went to that workshop, the kids were just doing it for fun. But then for some reason, it was pre-COVID, I was like, I really wanted to see what you did, and I
Right.
went to the school with you, and I
Right.
remember you asking me like, okay, so cool, like I'm glad you came, but like, can you tell me a little bit more, like why did you want to come? And
Yeah.
I remember I couldn't pull out an answer.
Yeah.
You know, when something you just want to do it, but you just can't verbalize the words.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't until months later that I was like, guys, okay, legit, I've been looking for a Miguel in my life for a while.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that? It is live. It's been recorded. I can prove it now.
I toss that hair, because for so long it's like okay, it's kind of weird because we're very similar.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we married very similar people.
Yeah, because Tegan and Mike are like
Very similar.
very, very similar.
Yeah, 100%
They keep
similar.
us alive.
100%. You know that.
If
like,
it wasn't for Tegan, I would be just a pile of potatoes in a
Dead.
dumpster, like somewhere.
you'd be dead. Like I
Living-
don't even know what you'd be like. This podcast wouldn't be here.
Living in a van down by the river.
You have like 10 babies with 10 different.
Yes.
No, but legit.
But
they do.
that's the culture.
Yeah.
Right? That's like the gospel played a massive role in it, right? For me to stay on the true and right path. But like Tegan has grounded me. She centered me. I would not, 100%.
I feel the same way about Mike. I was like, before I got married to Mike, I just thought it was like my way was the best way kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then after getting married, and it took a lot of work on his part, I finally was like, oh shoot, like you can grow up in 2 different households and have really good values, and then just bring them together. Like one doesn't have to be better than the other, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, so it was from there. And then finally, when like you and I started working together, I was like, I love the fact that we have similar goals. We have a similar outlook on life.
Yeah.
And so it's really hard to find somebody that's kind of aligned that way. I was searching for that for years since I started my whole fitness journey.
Yeah.
And I started dabbing into like, with Sensi and then doing Beachbody and all that stuff. And I couldn't find my actual match. And I was like, because my match was not a woman, apparently.
Yeah. Well, so you say. So you say.
I was looking for a woman, and I guess that's why I couldn't find.
Yeah. But and so this is the thing. Yeah. So I had a coach, and he says it's going to be really, really hard for you to scale if you don't find a good partner. And so I was like, okay. So I always had that in the back of my mind about trying to find someone like not equals, but similar goals, similar aspirations, similar desires, similar wants out of life. Mm-hmm. And and so it's funny. So here's the thing. It was December. I was dropping off the kids at school, and it hit me like a ton of bricks. Call Maria and start a podcast. I was listening to a motivational talk.
Yeah.
And then they said, whatever thoughts come into your mind, just do it. Just don't think about it. Just do it. And so the thought came was like, call Maria. You got to do a podcast. So that was like on a Thursday. And so it was the middle of the week. And so I called up Maria from the car, and I'm like, listen, we need to do a podcast, and we need to do it as soon as next week. She goes, what?
I was like,
I'm like, what, are you serious? I'm like, yeah, 100%. We'll talk tonight. We'll talk this weekend. We'll organize something. And then that's when, we just
It's just
Just
kind of,
don't think, just do.
yeah, which is kind of scary. But I'm like, but had it not been for the fact, I feel like both you and I had a why. We had a reason.
Yeah.
And had it not been for that guiding us, we would have never been able to work together because we have similar whys.
Yeah.
Right?
So this whole 7 deep why is actually very
What did you say? 7-layer dip?
no 7-layer deep why.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said 7-layer dip. I'm like
7 layer.
nachos? Dip?
Are you
Dip?
serious?
Am I hungry? Maybe
Did
I'm
I-
hungry.
Yeah, I think you're hungry, dude.
Anyway.
Yeah, the 7-layer deep. Like, so this is an exercise. I'm not gonna explain it because like she's the one that introduces me, so I think she should do it. But what I am gonna say, it's like, holy crap,
Yeah.
holy crap. So I knew no, I didn't know the process. I knew the importance of doing something like this, like the 7 layers deep, and I've done something similar, but not like to this extent. And so for the first time, so we're talking, and you're like, "Have you ever done the 7-layer deep thing?" And I'm like, "No, what is that?" So she did it on me, and I just started crying.
Yeah.
Like I legit started, and I'm like, "Holy, this thing works."
There's power, right?
There is so much power in this thing.
Yeah.
Go ahead, explain it. Like I
Okay.
can't- yeah.
So let me give you a little background. So when you're goal setting, right? The number one reason why we fall off the wagon when we're goal setting is because we haven't attached it into something that's really deep and meaningful to us.
Okay.
So when we have something that's really deep and meaningful to us and that guide us, then it helps us to get there. And basically your why is there to help you, give you the fire, right? Give you the calmness, the ability to focus and just feel grounded towards your goals. So that's why you want to have one. Now with the 7 layers deep, I think now with culture as well, we're very much about personal development, improvement, self-care. So I do feel like a lot more people know the importance of knowing your why, but I think this is where we're missing. I don't think enough people know about the reason that the purpose is to go deep within you.
Yeah.
To discover your why, because your why is not something that you create. It's not that I take your why and I take that person's why and I take this why and I'm like, oh yeah, sounds good, maybe I'll do that because that seems to be important, because if you do that, it's not going to create any growth. But if you realize that your deep why comes from how you were raised, it comes from your culture, it comes from experiences that you've had that have been valuable to you, it comes from things that you've wanted to do. So it's already really, really deep inside of you.
Yeah.
And your purpose is to uncover it. So think of it like an onion, right? You know how there's like layers to an onion? It's kind of like that till you get to the center. So the 7-layer dip, not dip, right?
Dip. Did you hear that? So I said 7 layers dip.
Okay, the 7-layer deep.
Deep.
The 7-layer deep. Why?
Is this his number?
Oh, maybe. Yeah, that is his.
That is?
That
Okay.
is. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Hang on one second.
Is he calling?
Hello,
back?
Mike?
Hey, am I on the call-in show now?
You will be. Hang on one second. We're gonna put you through, okay?
Oh my gosh! Seriously, we're like in the midst of. Guys, I'm so sorry. Like,
Hey,
I'm
Mike?
trying to keep this professional, and yet I'm dealing with Miguel here, who's like,
Oh, you can't hear him, right?
no, that's okay.
I
You go
can-
ahead.
No, Mike can.
Can they hear?
Yeah,
They can hear. They can hear him.
Are you
but you
sure?
can't hear. Here.
I can hear you guys.
Okay, hang on one second. Okay, Mike, can you hear us?
Yep.
Okay, so the people can hear you as well. So you're on the show right now, live.
Hey, everybody.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday, dude. Did you get my text?
Yeah,
So
you're totally my trophy wife.
100%.
so
Mike representing. I told you. Did I not tell you? I love you, babe. You see, that's why we're married.
Okay. But this has been a progression. I didn't marry her as a trophy wife. This is taken. This is
preach, bro. Preach. I want to hear where this goes. Preach. Go.
originally she was my sugar mama
Oh,
because
yeah,
I was
see?
still in university.
Oh.
And I literally, one time I was at school and I called her, I was like, hey, something came up, blah, blah, blah. Can you just throw some money in the account? She's like, sure, no worries. And I hung up. My friend looks at me and goes, did you just call your wife for your allowance? And I was like, yes, I did.
See, I know, because I'm like, when we got married, I always said that Mike would be my investment. And he's paying off, guys. He's paying off. Like,
He's
See?
all right. So
I
she.
retired her
100%.
Okay.
from nursing,
Okay.
and now she's supposed to retire me from
Yes.
engineering.
Yeah,
Oh.
see, that's how we work.
In the meantime, the recurring cost of her maintenance falls to me.
It's true. Maintaining this is not cheap, guys.
Sorry,
There
can you
comes
tell
some
them
cost.
I'm like calling from work? Because I'm totally doing our budget plan for next year for 2023.
Well, Mike, thank you so much for being on the show, dude. You've enlightened this. You brought in some light.
Always,
Love
always
you,
glad
thank
to
you.
add my professional opinion and insight.
So that should be your new tagline, Maria.
Which one?
Instead of mindset BFF,
What?
from sugar mama to trophy wife.
Yes. You can be two ladies. Just kidding.
This is going to be her own podcast she's going to do on Wednesdays now.
Wednesdays, yeah.
For the,
Oh my gosh,
for the
that's
female audience and or male audience who wants to go from
Listen, sugar daddy to trophy husband. I got you too.
This is starting to get awkward. So, Mike, take care, buddy.
okay.
Love you, man.
Have a good one. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Oh my gosh. Oh. It's
So-
so horrible. I feel like listen, we were in the meat and potatoes of our sharing her why, and look, you totally derailed us.
Yeah, that kind of threw me off towards the end. I'm not gonna lie.
Excuse you. That threw you off. You know what throws me off? When you tell me and do things that you're not supposed to be doing in front of me.
I burp sometimes, once in a while, by accident. Anyways.
No, I don't need that in my life.
So go back to your why.
Now you all rattled me.
I did.
Anyway, so yeah, with regards to your 7 layers,
Deep.
I'm
Not
like,
dip.
why do I want to keep saying dip? Anyway, so just to kind of get back to it, doing a 7 layers really helps you to uncover what your true why is. So when I did it with you, I asked you, I'm like, okay, for the goals that we have, why is it important to you?
Yeah.
And you remember, like, his first answer was superficial, the usual, like, I can't remember exactly what you said.
It was a financial goal, right?
Yeah.
It was a financial goal, and I want to make X amount of money.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, so why is that important to you?
So that was the first time that wasn't the first time that anybody's asked me that, and so I had an answer readily available.
Yeah, you were like, well, because I wanna.
Like
Okay.
I don't want, yeah. So it was I want to have, like, I don't want money to be an option. I don't want my decisions to be based on money, right?
Yeah.
And so I want to be able just to go out and get anything, or my family, whatever.
Which, if you think about it, a lot of people would stop there and be like, oh, yeah, that sounds good, because who doesn't want financial freedom, right?
Right.
But then as we got, like, deeper and deeper, then you made it so personal to you, to
Yeah.
your family, to your circumstances. And that's why it hit deep.
So she kept asking, well, why is that important to you?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, well, I grew up in poverty, and then, taking work so hard, and I don't want to working anymore. She goes, well, why is that so important to you? Like, why is that your why? And I go, well, she's put up a lot, and so I want to retire her, and I don't want her working anymore, kind of thing. Or if she does work, it has to be an option. She goes, well, why is that important to her? And I'm like, freak, like, stop asking me that. Like, and there was a pushback a bit. It was like,
You didn't
why-
want to answer.
Yeah.
You were just like, isn't this good enough? Like, why do
Yeah.
you keep asking?
Yeah,
A little
I'm like,
anger there?
why? It wasn't angry. I was just like annoyed. Why you keep asking me why? And I'm like, and so I kept going, and then the final one was, Tegan just wants to be a mother. She doesn't want to, and I see how much she loves her kids, and every time she works, it takes her away from the kids a little bit, right? Even though she enjoys working, even though she loves her clients, I want to give her the option of the hours that she chooses and all these different things. And when I started saying that stuff, I started crying. Right?
I feel choked up because I remember that moment.
Yeah.
And I was like, and I saw the intensity, and I saw it because I know Tegan too, right? And I see it. And do you remember when we went out for dinner and we did it with Tegan?
Yeah.
And like, legit, like, I think all of us in the table were crying, like four grown adults. We were all like,
yeah, in the middle of keg, because she did the why to Tegan as well, right?
yeah, that was Mike, the one who was like doing
Yeah.
it to him. And he was like, okay, don't, like, because it can get annoying if you don't know what's going on. You can get annoyed of like why people keep asking you why, right?
Yeah.
So he did preface it, but it got to the point where she was like, that legit, like, do you think she'd be okay with me sharing? Maybe not.
Oh, her true why?
Yeah. We'll hold off on
Yeah,
that one
we'll
because
hold
that
off.
was a personal
Yeah,
one,
that
right?
was a very personal one. Yeah.
But to see the intensity, and it was legit something that I did not expect.
Neither did I.
I when she said it, I didn't expect it.
The room went quiet.
Yeah, because I'm like, I never expected it
Yeah.
for that to be so personal and so. And I remember like tears welding, and I mean, hearing her why fueled my why, because
Yeah.
now I want to give her that. I mean,
Yeah.
I can't, but I want to.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't
But
you can't give her that why.
that's not a why that I can give. But nonetheless, I was like, I was legit.
It only makes sense if you know what the why is.
But I was in tears. So that's what we want to share with you. It's just the power of getting to know your why. And it's powerful. It
Yeah, it is.
drives you. And it excuse you.
It's just
You're
weird.
the one that like says the most random things.
No, that was pretty random, dude.
Anyway, but to kind of get back on the why, I'm like, that's the power of the why, right? It
Yeah.
allows you to kind of see your point A to point B, and realizing that getting from point A to point B is going to be a hot mess.
Yeah.
There's going to be ups, there's going to be downs, there's going to be circles, there's going to be tears, it's just a hot mess. Like, I feel like reaching goals is not easy.
Yeah.
And I don't like it when people make it seem like it's so easy. It can be more structured. You can have structure. You can have like little milestones that you're achieving. But even during those milestones, you're
Yeah.
dealing with a whole lot of things because you've never done it before. This is brand new. So your why kind of recenters you and helps you to remember why you're doing what you're doing.
And we strategically put it on phase 4 for a reason, because we were looking at like, where do we put the why?
Yeah.
Right? Do we put it in the beginning, the true why, the 7 layers deep, right? Do we put it in the beginning? Do we put it at the end? Where? And so strategically we put it in on phase 4, because phase 5 is going to require a lot of work.
Yeah.
So phase 1, 2, and 3, easy. You'll get it done in phase 1 through 3. You'll get it done in 10 minutes, 10, 15.
No,
20.
I think it'll take a little bit longer, but it does take short. Yeah.
Declutter and figure out your
Well, because sometimes people have like, can you imagine what if you've never asked yourself what's really bothering you?
people know. I think people know.
I know people know, but sometimes it's awkward to actually sit down, and sometimes you're battling the thoughts of thinking like, okay, what kind of hippie crap is this? But like, you know what I mean? Because
Okay.
I'm just
Fair
saying
enough.
that because
Yeah.
I'm the one that struggled with that, where people used to tell me this kind of stuff, and I was like, what kind of hippie crap are you telling? I'm fine the way I am, kind of thing,
Yeah.
right? But if you struggle with that mindset,
Did you see the Latina coming out?
that
Did you see the
where's
chola?
my big hoops?
The chola.
Oh, please.
The chola just.
I'm like, listen, give me my big hoops. Anyway, but yeah, I think it can. Nonetheless, it is a phase that takes a little bit shorter than the next phase, because the next phase you're actually doing the planning, the acting, and the doing and the reflecting.
Well, phase 5, out of all of them, phase 5 is so there's 8 phases.
Yeah.
And out of all the phases, phase 5 is the longest one.
Yeah.
So phase 1, 2, and 3 is, okay, maybe not 10 minutes, 20, 30, 40, maybe an hour. Let's just say, is it safe an hour? Between
Maybe.
phase
Yeah,
1
I guess
through
it's
3?
depending. You can work along at your own speed, whatever
So
it is.
60 minutes or less, phase
Yeah.
1 through 3 is done, right?
Yeah.
I'm saying 20 minutes. She's saying whatever, right?
Shut
so-
your face. Yeah.
so-
I know you just want to shut me down.
I'm not. I'm just saying whatever. But so that's phase 1 through 3. Phase 5, it's going to take a long time.
And you may get unmotivated because I'm like,
You will get unmotivated. 100% you're
Yeah.
going to get unmotivated.
because sometimes you're battling your self-talk.
Yeah.
It's getting hard because now you're actually doing work. And
Yeah.
at the beginning of anything, you have like motivation. You're like, I got this. I can do this.
Yeah.
But motivation is a feeling. That thing is going to be gone in no time.
So that's why we put phase 4, which is the true deep, because once you figure what that is, then you're willing to push through the crap of phase 5.
Yeah.
Right.
Because there's crap.
Yeah. There's,
I mean, our program is amazing.
yeah.
but
no, yeah,
legit,
not the program being crap, meaning what you're going to be doing, the legwork that you're going to be doing. It's going to feel like, ugh, I don't want to do this anymore. Right?
Yeah, it's so true. Because I'm like, and having coached people, I feel like that's where I lose people.
100%.
Because people just kind of this is the thing. You can be 100% people can tell you exactly what you need to do in order to get from point A to point B.
Yeah.
The thing is that there's so much more value when you learn it and you discover what's going to work for you.
Yeah.
Because other people's solutions not always work for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Now, if you want more information about our booklet, listen, we are our website, right? www.mtc
What?
relax. Hang on, let me finish. Let me finish. mtclife.com, our website, and if there's a tab that says personal progress.
You just click on there, download the workbook. Have any questions, feel free to come back to MTC Live, drop us an email, any of our social handles. We've done the program, we created the program. We know if you're struggling, you're in the right path of doing the program because it's not going to be easy. I mean, it's easier because you have structure and you know what you're going to do, but it's not easy in the sense that you've never done it before. So you may experience some pushback within yourself. So it's just normal.
100%. Ladies and gentlemen.
Is there music?
There is music.
Oh, dang. Because I don't have my thing, I can't hear, so I can't, like, dance.
It's so
and just
sad.
feel weird.
It's so sad. But listen, I want you guys to make sure that you're following us on all of our social sites. Here, let me take it off, too, because it's ours. So, yeah, make sure that you're following us on our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all of our, like, our YouTube channel and all that other good stuff. And then that's our website, mtclife.com. Make sure that you help support the podcast by getting some merch.
Absolutely. Feel good merch.
Yeah. We just got an order of 50 shirts.
High five. Killing it.
That's pretty good. So that helps the show, right? And then it allows us to do things that we want to do, and it allows us to do this more often, and then just even do some giveaways. I'm thinking about some giveaways.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So support us. Send us love. Make sure you subscribe. Tell your friends about us. We love connecting with people. We love helping. We love sharing our light. And we just want to encourage you to share your light as well, okay?
Yeah. Like, share, subscribe, follow us. Make sure you push our content, right? What was that? Like, honestly, folks. Let's just go to the end credits. Later, guys.
Get a minute of your time. Get a minute of your. Let it. I sure gotta live right, and I'm never gonna let you out of my side. I've been knocked out, was a nice try, but I guess I get to keep my head on this time. God of the creation, the relations I've got, the only one that keeps me safe, the only one you should trust. For sure, it ain't right that I have checked the speck of dust from all of its sides. Fall down, that from my height, cause I didn't see the plank I have in my eye.